Hi, this is a quick update on this brass engine. I have it upside down here on my work table, so to speak. This is from last night. I have gone ahead and run the 5 wires, as you can see, into the tender through those little tiny holes there. And then I have hot wired a wiring harness to it, which is plugged into this decoder speaker combination. Now, I said yesterday where the wires went. So what I've done here is I just guessed on the engine wires, and I'm going to have to reverse them because when I run this in forward, it runs backwards. So I'm going to unsolder the two there you can see that are like crossed and wire them to the other ones. But the headlights wired in. Obviously, I've got the blue going to one of the headlights. I've got the orange and yellow, or orange and white going to the other headlight. I've got the orange wire, which goes to the locomotive frame for the right side pickup, wired into, I'm sorry, that's the motor pickup. I've got the red wire here, and I've already heat shrunk them. The red wire goes to that red wire, which goes to the locomotive. And then I just temporarily did the 2 engine wires, the gray and the orange. And as I said, it runs backwards, so in a minute I'm going to unsolder those, resolder them, and we should be good to go. So what I've done is I've taken this DC system here, and I've got some alligator clips. I clipped one to the black wire, which is the tender ground. Right now the tender's sitting here. I'm going to be installing the decoder in it permanently soon. Got the other one going to the engine, a point in the engine that's a ground. And so these decoders are set at number 3 when they come from the factory. So I tried it out on 3, it worked good, so I started programming, and I programmed in Loco 1723, and we'll watch it here. And the headlight works. You can see up front here, on and off. And I was able to program a number of variables. I programmed it while it's sitting right here. So there's a master list here of how you do it. So using the CVs in the handheld here, configuration variables, I programmed the top voltage, which this one came with the top voltage of 255. I cut that about in half, so the engine's not, it's a freight engine, it's only going to run about that fast at full power, which is probably faster than it would have in real life. I also programmed in deceleration and acceleration, which in this case the CVs are, let's see, 3 is acceleration, 4 is deceleration, and the number that comes from the factory is there, so I just programmed a little bit of that in, so when you start it starts up kind of slowly. I also programmed in the whistle I decided on. I also programmed in the chuff I decided on, and most importantly, the rate of the chuffs. You want to have roughly 4 chuffs per driver revolution, and when this came, it was way, way too fast. So I'll show you here with that just how it works. I've got it running. The CV that does the chuff rate is CV 48. Let's see. CV 48 chuff rate. It came from the factory at 64. So what I'll do, I've got it down to about 17 now. So if I hit program twice, enter, the engine number comes up. I hit enter several times, and we'll do that CV48. If I hit CV48, which is chuff rate, let's say I'm going to do 14, make it even slower. I'll hit 14, enter, and immediately you can hear it wasn't much, but it slowed it down a little bit. And likewise, so you want those drivers to be about 4 chuffs per revolution, and it's pretty close to that right now. In fact, it's probably exact. So we have that very simple programming. It took me all of about 5-6 minutes. And so the engine runs, as you can see, very smoothly. It's this Reading M1S Mikado. And I've used all kinds of different sound decoders in my engines, but this one I purchased, I like it for the ease of programming, and it's not a super expensive one. This isn't like a TCS wow sound or anything, but it's worked fine for me. And you know, because of the number of engines I have, I've got to kind of watch costs somewhere. So these run about 35 bucks. It's from a company called XL Systems, and you know, I can't remember, there's like 6 or 8 different whistles, there's 6 or 8 different chuffs and bell types and all kinds of stuff, and everything's laid out real good in the instructions with what all these various CVs, configuration variables, do. And it's really a piece of cake to get them in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to now cut off here. I'm going to change those 2 wires. I'm going to move the orange and gray to the opposite ones, and then go ahead and heat shrink them. And then I'm going to probably use double-sided foam tape to put the speaker. And these speakers here work pretty good. They give a good sound, and you can get them online. I'm going to put that on the bottom of the tender here, and then we'll have to find a way to get this. I'm going to unplug this now. You're going to have to find a way to get this black tender ground somewhere onto the brass of the tender so that you have pickup. And there's a couple ways I can do it, but it's not hard. But I'll probably do it to one of these brass tabs here. And then all I have to do is flip the, put the tender bottom on here like this, put the screws in, and the engine should be good to go. So that's really the extent of it. And then this number 1723, I can add it to the fleet. Now, I purchased some non-sound decoders, and they actually came today in the mail. These are Digitrax 127, I believe, decoders. And you can see the 9-wire harness here. I've had good luck with these personally. I mean, I'm not a decoder expert by any means, but I've used these in a lot of the non-sound engines and found that they work pretty good, and they're about 20 bucks a piece. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one into this little 460 here that I showed yesterday. And we'll try to get that done as well. And I may end up putting it into this New York, Ontario, and Western 482 that I have here that I showed. I haven't decided if I'll put sound on that one yet, but obviously that one's going to have to be disassembled and painted. So, lots of little fun here. So, thanks for watching. Have a good day.